In this election, some prominent politicians asking for our vote are not acting in the people's best interests, but their own. Here is just some of the conflict of interest among our political and scientific leaders that we need to know about when voting. CSIRO Chief Executive Dr. Megan Clark advocates cutting human carbon dioxide. A former director of Rothschild's Australia Bank, Dr. Clark is currently on the advisory board of Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Both banks want to snatch trillions of dollars trading paper carbon dioxide credits and derivatives. Ove Goldberg, Director of the University of Queensland's Global Change Institute and member of the Climate Commission's Science Advisory Panel and paid by the Department of Climate Change. Ove is a paid consultant to WWF and Greenpeace. In fact, he's been funded by Greenpeace since 1994. He's entrusted by the Australian people to make independent judgments about climate, while funded by both prominent extremist political activist bodies. The government's Chief Climate Commissioner, Tim Flannery, has personally banked profits from his climate alarmism, contradictions, and failed prophecies. Remember his claim that the dams would never again fill? Well, Tim Flannery was a member of the advisory board to Siemens, the company that built mothballed desalination plants that Tim Flannery said we needed. Malcolm Turnbull pushes trading paper carbon dioxide credits. Malcolm headed international bank Goldman Sachs, who aimed to grab trillions of dollars from trading paper credits and derivatives. Goldman Sachs already shares in the $178 billion trading of credits. Malcolm Turnbull wants to sell out Australia to international banks. And why wouldn't he? Isn't that where he made his $100 million fortune in the first place? As Minister for Climate Change, Greg Combet oversaw giving tens of millions of taxpayer dollars to Pacific Hydro wind farms that are owned by Industry Super Holdings Proprietary Limited. Before entering Parliament, Greg Combet was a director of union-owned Industry Super Holdings. During the 2007 election, opposition leader Kevin Rudd said 2,500 scientists claim human carbon dioxide would cause global warming. In 2008, as Prime Minister, he said it was 4,000 scientists. UN figures show only 5 UN reviewers endorse its sole chapter claiming human warming. He has these figures, yet continues his scientific consensus lie. At a cost of $5 billion, he wants to rush forward his trading scheme, giving our money to the UN and international banks, while tying our economy to the failed European Union. Sunday, August 25, 2013. Kevin Rudd admitted Labor had no mandate to tax carbon dioxide. Kevin Rudd's New Labor and its Greens partner both rely on UN climate reports. Both include UN Agenda 21 global governance in their policies, yet publicly say little. It's taking property from farmers, coastal residents, and small business. It's strangling suburbs and cities. Control over our resources, energy, economy, property, mobility, and even the food we eat. Control over us. Never ratified by the people or Parliament, under UN Agenda 21, politicians and public servants quietly ceded our governance and sovereignty to the UN. Opposition Environment spokesman Greg Hunt denies knowing details of UN Agenda 21. Yet in 2005, he awarded Penrith City Council for implementing Agenda 21. He's been documented as involved in Agenda 21 programs. Now he wants to waste billions of dollars on his direct action. Correspondence with CSIRO and our Bureau of Meteorology confirms neither has scientific evidence and logic establishing human causation. Both rely on the UN climate body that has no evidence. All the people whose behaviour is discussed have no scientific evidence that humans cause global warming. Global warming and climate change are not about climate. They're about money and power. Please read the Galileo movement's one-page Affordable Energy and Climate Science Policy. When voting, bypass party deals. Exercise preferences below the line. Put parties stealing more of our money in carbon dioxide taxes or trading schemes last. Vote for parties who won't waste money on the UN's climate con. Authorised and spoken by Malcolm Roberts for the Galileo movement. Produced by Malcolm Roberts.